Welcome to BCB Live. Drive safe, Dave. Happy birthday on Saturday, and you went a little deer hunting?
I did. I had a
Talk
good
to
time.
us about, did you nail yourself a buck?
No, I got a doe. I went and got a doe. I did shoot a doe this weekend. Had a lot of fun. Got up early. Went out to the deer blind early. Was out there bright and early.
Hey, did you see the YouTube? YouTube steps up to the plate, says, hey, no more disliking ever.
They're gonna have the dislike button. It's just not gonna be public knowledge. So you'll be able to use it for yourself. You'll be able to tell yourself.
Your self-improvement.
You'll be able to say, hey, I don't really like this, but nobody else is gonna get it.
So it was probably 16 years ago. Katie Bug, my daughter, she did out. Mike had posted a video of Katie doing singing some Taylor Swift song. And Katie Bug did a good job. I was proud of her. And she got 2 dislikes, and even one, and she was like 4 years old. And she got disliked, and one said, yeah, she was cute, but she really didn't even know all the words. I was like, come on. I mean, she's 4.
Smashing it. That's that smashing that
Ever
creativity.
since then, there went her dreams of being Adele out the window. No Adele anymore on her side. So we have to encourage these kids to keep their dreams. Our Postmaster, General DeJoy, says, hey, we do not expect to see the delays that we saw back in 2020. What do you think about that?
I'm going to call fake news.
Yeah, right. So they go, hey, we are ready is the word, right? We are ready.
Okay.
Although they do go and say, hey, that 95% expected delivery time, hey, don't expect that until 2023.
What are you ready for? Okay, so what are you ready for? You expect it. We're going to be a little bit later on delivery.
Yes.
All right. It's going to cost a little bit more, and we don't expect to be fully up and running until next year. So we're ready.
We are ready. I don't know.
That makes sense.
I don't know who is ready right now? I mean, first of all, you may not even get all the packages, right? That's your biggest chance of not being ready, is that maybe we don't get all the things. Again, we talk about the productivity side of what we do is, when you're touching these containers over and over and over, and they talked about opening up 24 hours a day, and they still had all these docks, right, that nobody was operating out of.
Right.
Well, everybody else has got to be open. And you know what else I found that I guess I didn't know is they were already open like 18 or 19 hours of the 24 anyway.
Yeah,
it made you just feel like when you heard this declare come down that we're going to open 24 hours a day, it made you think that maybe they're only open 8 to 5. Maybe that's all they're open. Maybe it's like a bank or something.
They're open
like
18
that.
hours, and then they extended an additional 6. But the problem is they can't take it to the warehouses because the warehouses, we close.
Drive safe, Dave. We had a little bit of fake news. I guess it's fake news. What do you think about the news regarding Subway?
I'm not sure.
Is that fake news? So we have tuna, right? That may not be 100% yellow fish, yellow whatever tuna. It's got some chicken in it. It's got some pork. It sounds a little bit like a hot dog. It shouldn't be the Subway hot dog.
So isn't there certain allowances about the amount of other substances inside of 100% of anything by law under the FDA? Like it can have so many percentage of like even roaches or so many percentage, right? I mean, there's a certain thing in there that allows.
Well, the whole thing I think with this is that Subway was pretty adamantly saying this is 100% tuna, and that's even in their court documents are saying, no, this is 100% tuna.
And they still are. They're sticking with their story. They're saying, hey, they're going to fight that. They're going to get it dismissed based on reckless and it's an improper lawsuit. They go back and say it's high quality, wild caught, 100% tuna. And if it's got something else in it, it doesn't seem to me like it could be 100%. I mean,
dolphin.
Yeah. But here's what it is. I mean, they're saying, hey, it's got chicken, pork, some cattle. It's really not 100%.
That's a hot dog.
Yeah.
That's that 3 variety
hot dog. Man, kind of like a little hot dog. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of that. But we had some more news out in Haiti in which it's just getting out of control. No news yet, right, on the 17 Americans and the Canadian that have the missionaries, nothing back yet from them. I guess they're still just being held hostage, Drive Safe?
Yeah, they're still, there have been proof of life sent out, but they have not reached an agreement on their negotiations. So they're still being held. And now there is a huge push in the country. They are kidnapping a lot of people in retaliation to the government trying to make a change, and it just continuing to spiral out of control as there's very little law and order in Haiti right now.
Man, on Wednesday, they had armed men stopped a bus carrying 52 people. They killed the police officer on there, held those folks for 24 hours later on, letting them all go. Also, you have Jimmy, the barbecue Cherizer, I think is how you say his name. He was that former policeman that runs the most powerful gang there in Haiti, that they are now holding the fuel hostage. So now it's kind of gone from not just people, but now we're not going to let you have fuel. On eastbound 26, listen, a pickup truck goes around, just much like we saw right here, goes around, passes on the shoulder. There's a big truck parked already on the side. Slams into it, causes the truck that it's trying to pass, again on the shoulder, to also slam into it. The passenger of the pickup truck is killed. The driver of the big truck and the driver of the truck that passed, the pickup truck, both taken to the hospital. These highways, when we show these videos, Drive Safe Dave, man, they're just critical that we've got to stay focused on not only what we are doing, but also on those vehicles that possibly are going to pass you to the left or right, and you have to stay focused. There's a video that I also want us to look at, and it kind of shows one of the subjects we've been talking about, and I'm going to tie all these together because as when we're out there driving in that right lane or left lane, whatever it is you're doing out there, the big truck, you've got to make sure that your vision is there. We talk all the time about getting too close, giving yourself the ability to stop or slow down, do something when something happens. And oftentimes when we go to pass or we stay in that right shoulder, when we talk about getting too close to somebody, what we're saying is you don't see what's ahead of those other vehicles. And when something happens, right, when another vehicle stops, when there's something in the road, bad things happen when you're following too close. Producers, show this video here, and we're going to see it right here. Again, we get into the left lane. We want to pass, and here we go. We're going, we're a little close. Here we go. We get in there and we're moving. We're catching up to everybody. Drive safe. We can't see the mattress right here. Bam. We don't see it. And I'm saying is that we've got to be ready. Look for the signs when you get into that left lane. Look up ahead and you can just see like, all right, look, there's some chaos going up there, right? The vehicle, everybody's kind of moving. And here we go.
Yeah.
We just got to be careful on there. We got to be able, you can't see. Drive Safe Dave, and you've been out there in the truck, you can't see what's in front of the vehicle that's really in front of you. You can't see what's right there sometimes, especially if there's two vehicles up there.
Again, one of the things that, I encourage all drivers out there to do is, hey, these are about educating, right? And it looked like nothing happened there, but it seemed a little close call because at the end, that other vehicle coming the other way was worried enough to get over onto the shoulder. So, right here when you watch, as it goes by, that vehicle's over on the shoulder. And so that kind of suggests that this was maybe one of those late things. So, hey, encouraged to look at the more video. We've requested more video just to see what can we help this driver out with. Did they actually do anything wrong? Or if they did, we'll be able to coach them on it and get to see a little bit more. So we've requested a minute before and a minute after just to kind of see what you can do and learn from this, because something was there that other vehicle felt unsafe, right, and got off to the shoulder. This next one, great job by this driver. Here's this OV, puts a blinker on. I think had a quick little notion of jumping more than one lane, and this driver did a great job, hit the brakes, got that speed or that space, and then the driver came over and made another one, and you can see they're going to cut over. So that driver, I think, right here was intending to jump at least 2 or 3 lanes right off the bat, and luckily got to view the truck, and the truck also getting the big picture. Great job by that driver. Intersections, again, folks, one of the things I like to see here was it doesn't seem like there was really much slowdown. These are blinking yellow lights, which are probably more dangerous than red ones, right? If they're going to run a red one, why wouldn't they run a blinking yellow one? So when you're on these secondary highways, folks, just slow down and be prepared to stop. You can see from back here, he's pulling out, that vehicle's pulling out, and you don't see a whole lot of slowdown just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, I mean, when you see that video right there, right at the get-go, we talk about that we talked about that on Saturday as well. As when you see those things, you see that car pulling out that truck right now, just slow down. There's no reason to make it closer than it needs to be. There's no reason. We see with the four-wheelers all the time. They'll get up and then start honking their horn. There's no reason. The instance has happened, so back off.
The reason for the yellow blinking light, obviously, is that this intersection is dangerous enough that they feel it's necessary to warn you to be cautious. And by not slowing down, you aren't entering into a cautious area or trying to be safe. The whole purpose of the blinking yellow light is yelling, hey, be cautious. This is a dangerous intersection. Now, the opposing lights are probably red, but that has nothing to do with your being sure that you're slowing down and being cautious, because that's what they're telling you right there. Slow down. Be cautious before you enter into this intersection.
Yeah, and you can see by not slowing down, and we see this all the time, it leads to more dangerous. Now we're going to make a lane change right after the intersection, and you've got a vehicle sitting there. What if that vehicle pulled out into the right lane, and you jumped out there? There was about a 3-second lapse. You're not going to be able to stop on maybe them. So you've got to, Sir Rick said it, just slow down.
I mean, just slow down.
And be ready for...
Just slow down. I mean, you see them crossing, just slow down at that moment. Take your time, get back, make sure you keep your space there. You don't have to rush into the right lane. And to your point, buckle up, Bob. If that car in front of this, if that car to the right lane that can come out, if it decides to go out, we're in trouble once again.
Yes, we are.
Where are we going to go? We've lost our drive safe. There's probably no room to your left. And then there's definitely nothing to your right where you can go.
Nope.
Bad things are going to happen once again. Slow down.
And here, again, we got just a merge point, patience, right? And just, this was kind of you got construction, and then you got this car that can't make up its mind. Now, this driver does eventually stop and slow down, but just, hey, we know the merge point's coming up. Keep getting that big picture. You've got construction, so you just got to be aware, there's that wall, right? Yeah, I think this one had the Jersey wall right there for the construction. So there's nowhere to go. Yeah. So pretty good job, but you can see that one car was kind of caught out in no man's land there.
But what I like about this is that our speed is reduced to allow us that ability to stop if we need to. And that's what we didn't see in that last video. We didn't see a reduction in speed, just like Drive Safe in the video before Buckle Up Bob came on. We saw that mattress in there where we gained space. We gained our space was reduced on that white vehicle in the left lane. We've got to slow down, apply brakes. Those have got to be our first methods to use.
Mm-hmm. And this was also a great video of the drivers improving, because what we see in a lot of these good videos now were drivers that were having a lot of the other ones that were coachable, and they're being coachable. And so, you just got to keep companies out there. Keep talking to the drivers. They are listening, even when you think they're not. Yeah, there's going to be them one or two that don't, but really the drivers are trying to become safer here.
So there a couple of great things about this video as I watch it and view it. And you see in the beginning, you see the merge point sign right there that it's coming up. So you already know that you have the sign has already warned you of a merge point. But a couple of things here as you look at the video. Number one, you're on an uneven surface in construction. All right, already challenging to make sure that you keep control of the vehicle. Secondly, you have the extended and long shadows of the day. So it is either waning or it is early in the morning. And it plays, those lights can play tricks on you as far as distances and actually what's in the road and what you're dealing with. Because the Jersey wall is pretty much shielding what the road condition is and what you're entering it onto. So that dark shadow can create a little bit more difficulty. But as you approach this, make sure that you're cautious, because obviously these two individuals up here aren't really sure what they're doing. I mean, so you've got to be the bigger person and the better driver and give them the space that they need to make the right decision.
This one here, great job. You talk about patience. This is just unbelievable. I guess you can't say that anymore. It's like saying unexpected. Comes OV, just going to run right through the red light, right around a truck, and into a dangerous intersection. And I just, great job of this driver. Just sit still and don't move. So.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know if there's a pedestrian crossing if you're in that four-wheeler. I mean, hey, four-wheelers, if you're watching this show, if you drive a four-wheeler for a living, you can't do things like this. Number one, it's against the law. Number two, what you can't see is if there's a pedestrian getting ready to cross over, doing something on a bicycle. You never know what's going to happen when you just cross over like that. It's not valuing life, the life of yourself, the life of others in that crosswalk, and it's illegal.
Yeah, and not only this, our truck is obviously with the turn indicator on. We are indicating that we are going to turn right, but we're waiting for the intersection to clear, going to make sure it's safe. And if you don't do the right thing here, you absolutely can get a lot of people hurt. Because obviously, if we're waiting, there's a reason we're waiting. So not only is it red, we can turn right on red, but we're waiting for a reason. And you can't, and by doing that, you're disregarding the caution that this truck is doing out there on the road.
This week, and it was, we did not plan it, but you talked a little bit this morning about the people in the truck and the false thing. And what attended a safety conference meeting last Tuesday, and their actual topic was human trafficking. And what really was alarming is how important that Texas plays a role in this. There is a corridor, 35 stretches all the way up to Minnesota, but there is a hot corridor from Houston to Oklahoma City that is really being monitored. And so what we want to talk about, one of the organizations they brought up was TAT, and it's Truckers Against Trafficking. And what happened is the law enforcement, a lot of this stuff and the transitions and stuff are going on at truck stops. So they're trying to partner with truck stops and the truckers and train them on what to look for and report it so that they can help really tackle this problem. In 2009, it was kind of started out just as a kind of an initiative. And then 2011, it became an organization. And I know recently San Antonio did a seminar to train truckers on what to look for. This initiative is going to go get broader, and there's a lot of states that have the organization existing in them. We'll try to give them a little bit later. But just to give you some numbers on the trafficking, and this is all trafficking, from labor to sex trafficking as well, all being done. Globally, there are an estimated of 40 million people that are enslaved in the world. In the USA, human trafficking exists in every single state in the United States. And in Texas, there's an estimated 313,000 victims to human trafficking just in the state of Texas alone. So we're going to have some numbers, and some of the numbers that are really astonishing is the fact of how many arrests are made and versus the convictions. It is staggering that they just don't get to convict them a whole lot. And so just going to show some of the numbers and what Texas, again, is leading, trying to lead the country in tackling this ongoing problem that is really growing. It's getting worse.